Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. This is definitely going to be a very fun one. I had so much fun creating this look with you guys, and the palette that I used to create this look was the SkinneLondon the Notting Hill palette. I am obsessed with the colors in this palette. I love how pigmented they are. These colors are absolutely beautiful. SkinneLondon is a cosmetics line that is based in the UK. Their products are vegan and cruelty-free. They are very affordable, and they do offer worldwide shipping. They have all kinds of products from eyeshadow palettes to concealers, contour, lipsticks, brushes, you name it, they have it. I'm so excited to just get into today's video and show you guys how I got this look. But before we do, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload new content. And of course, if you absolutely love this look as much as I do, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And of course, and most importantly, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Melly Gonzalez MUA. All right, you guys, without further ado, let's stop chit-chatting and get into today's video.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly, look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me.
Alright you guys, so the first thing that we're going to be doing, of course, is priming, and I'm going to be going into my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. As we all know, this is my absolute favorite primer. I'm just very gently putting this all over my face. All right, now that we have primed our face, I'm going to be going in with my Dior Forever foundation, and I'm going to be putting just 1 or 2 drops of this on the back of my hand and just blotting this into my face with a beauty blender. It was actually really cold here this morning when I woke up, and I'm going to insert a picture here of what it looked like outside my house today. It was absolutely freezing. It's been snowing for the past 2 days. So I did run to Starbucks this morning and grab my favorite coffee. They don't have the caramel brulee latte anymore, which was my absolute favorite, but they discontinued it because we're no longer in the Christmas season. But I did just order a regular caramel latte, and that's just gonna have to do. This coffee is exactly what I needed today to just warm up. Okay, you guys, now I'm going to be going into my Shape Tape concealer, my all-time favorite concealer. And I'm going to be putting just a little bit of this on the bottom of my eyes. I'm literally running out. I have the littlest bit left in this bottle. And I'm just going to be putting it anywhere that I get red, anywhere that I just really want to brighten up my face. Now I'm going back in with my beauty blender and just dabbing this in. So wherever you're watching from, what does the weather look like where you are at? Is it sunny outside? Is it freezing cold? Is it snowing? I really wish I was just in Florida right now, in Miami on a beach somewhere with a bunch of palm trees and un batido de guanábana. That's like the goals right now. All right, so concealer is in and done. So I'm going to be going into my Kat Von D translucent setting powder, and I'm going to be baking the underneath of my eyes. Again, with your baking, you want to make sure that you're holding it just for a few seconds. This is optional. This is just something that I find that works really well for me. So I just tend to hold it underneath my eyes for a few seconds just to make sure that it's really holding the concealer in its place. And while we let that bake, I'm going to be going into my Charlotte Tilbury face powder, and this is in shade medium. I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. blush brush because it is the perfect size for this pan, and I'm going to be putting this everywhere that I did not bake. Okay, now I'm going to be going into this super big puffy brush, and this is from e.l.f. and this is the complexion brush, and I'm going to be using this just to buff out all that bake. All right, you guys, so this is the fun part. So before we start putting any eyeshadow on our eyes, I'm going to be going into this Bye Bye concealer, and this is from It Cosmetics, and this is a super cute tiny bottle. I got this in my Ipsy bag, so I'm going to be putting just a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and this is in shade medium. I'm going to be going into this brush right here, and this is the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. This is the letter C. I'm not sure if you can see that. And I'm going to be using this brush just to put a little bit of this on my eyes. And we're basically using this as a primer for our eyes. So I'm going to take a smaller compact mirror here just to make sure that I'm not messing up my eyebrows when doing this. We're just going to put this all over our eye to make sure that that eyeshadow that we're going to go in with later really sticks. I'm going to be going back into my beauty blender that has some excess setting powder, and I'm going to be putting that on my eye just to make sure that that concealer we just put on doesn't shift or move. Okay, now I'm going to be doing the same thing on my other eye. All right, you guys, so before we go in with our SkinneLondon palette, I'm going to be digging into my Jaclyn Hill palette. Ignore how ugly and messy it is. I've had this palette for forever, and it is one of my all-time favorite palettes, so it is very used. And this is one of the first palettes that she came out with, so unfortunately this one does not have the names on it yet. And she did come out with another palette a few months later, like a month later, that did have the names on it, but this one does not. However, I'm going to be going into this shade right here, and I'm just going to be putting this all over my eye just to make sure that we have that concealer set in place. All right, you guys, so we're finally going to be digging into our SkinneLondon The Notting Hill palette. And since this is a cut crease, we're going to be taking this look very slow. We're going to take our time, slowly build up the colors. And what I really love about this palette is that the colors are very buildable. So doing a cut crease or even a halo or really any eye look that just takes a lot of time, this is a very good palette to do that with because the colors are very buildable. They're very pigmented, so you can easily just take your time and slowly build the look as you go. So here are the colors one more time. And this palette does have a mirror, which is very nice. And the mirror in this palette is absolutely amazing. And UPS totally broke this color down here. So unfortunately, I won't be able to be digging into this color. The colors in this palette are absolutely stunning. It was very hard for me to pick what direction I wanted to go to with this look. I really wanted to dip into some of the pinks and oranges, but I also wanted to dip into some of the blues. So we're going to be going into this beautiful look right here. I'm going to insert a picture. And this is where I got my inspiration from today's look. First, I'm going to be going into my e.l.f. Puff Eye Blender brush, and I'm going to be digging into this lighter blue shade right here and slowly putting this into my crease, and I'm going to be buffing it out towards my eyebrow. Now I'm going to be dipping my brush into the same blue color again, and we're slowly just building the pigmentation for this cut crease. We're doing very gentle circular motions, working it into the inner corner of our eye, back out to the outer corner of our eye, and we're buffing it just like this. And we're also buffing it up towards our eyebrow. When doing looks like this, you really just have to trust the process. Might not look super great when you start, but the end results are always going to be worth it. I'm super nervous, you guys. I'm really taking this look just one step at a time, just kind of feeling out the direction that I'm going here, so bear with me. Now I'm going to be going back in with the same brush, and I'm going to be digging into this top blue color right here and just putting it over that previous color that we went into. All right, you guys, so now to darken this look up just a bit, I'm gonna be going in with the same brush. I'm gonna be dipping into this dark purple color right here. And I'm gonna continue just building it into my crease, buffing it out towards the outer corner of my eye, just to make sure we're getting as much pigment as possible. All right, you guys, now I'm going to be going into my e.l.f. Detail Crease brush, and I'm going to be dipping back into that same purple color and just putting it here on this part of my crease just to deepen it up just a little bit more. And when doing this, I'm also going to be bringing it into the inner corner of my eye to make sure that we're getting some pigmentation in that part as well. And when doing a look like this, you really are going to spend the majority of your time just blending. You really want to make sure that all of these colors are just effortlessly blending in together and that there are no harsh lines. All right, you guys, now we're going to go into the fun part, which is cutting our crease. So I'm going to go back into that Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer, and I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of my hand. And I'm going to be going into this e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush to cut my crease. This is another step that you really want to take your time in. Just take it slow, unless you're in a rush to go somewhere, but really take it slow. Just dip your brush into the concealer and slowly start cutting your crease. You want to start in the middle of your eye and slowly kind of start working your way out to each corner. So we're very gently putting the concealer in the center of our eye, and we're going to start working our way outwards. Now to dry up that concealer, I'm going to be going back into my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to be going back into this same bone color right here, and I'm going to be putting it over the concealer just to make sure it's nice and dry before going in with any more color. All right, you guys, now I'm going to be going back into my e.l.f. Detail Crease brush, and I'm going to be dipping into this purple shade right here in our Notting Hill palette, and I'm going to be putting this on the outer corner of my eye just to blend the cut crease with the rest of my shadow. All right, you guys, now I'm going to be going into this e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, and this is the letter C brush. And I'm going to be getting into this very beautiful purple lavendery color right here, and I'm going to be putting that on my cut crease. And I'm not brushing, I'm not smearing, I'm literally just patting the eyeshadow on top of the cut crease. All right, you guys, now I'm going to be going back into my puffy eye blender brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to be dipping into that same lavender purple, and I'm going to be using this brush just to slowly blend those colors together. You guys, I'm going to be going in with a makeup wipe just to clean out the outer corner of my eye. And of course, you're going to want to go back in with a little bit of concealer just to clean up the outer corner. All right, you guys, so now I'm going to be dipping into this beautiful bright pink fuchsia color right here, and I'm going to be going in with my Ulta Beauty smudger brush, and I'm going to be putting this underneath my eyes. Okay, so to brighten up the inner corner of our eye, I'm going to be going into my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to be digging into this very beautiful white frosty color right here. It is absolutely stunning, super gorgeous, definitely a very pure white. And I'm going to be digging into this Detail Crease brush by e.l.f. and putting this color on the inner corner of my eye. Okay, you guys, I'm going to be going into my Estate Black liner. I'm going to be tracing just the natural shape of my eye. You can totally do a winged liner with this look. I think it would look absolutely beautiful. However, I personally just don't like doing winged liner. So I'm going to be taking my liner and just tracing the natural shape of my eye. Last but not least, I'm going to be going into my Maybelline the Falsies mascara. And I'm gonna hop off camera to finish up my other eye, throw on some lashes, and I will be right back to finish up the rest of this look. All right, you guys, so now that I have both eyes done and threw on some lashes, I used the Kiss lashes, and these are Russian volume, and I absolutely love how these lashes look with this eye look. I am absolutely, I am so in love with this look, you guys. One more thing I'm going to be doing to my eyes before we move on to the rest of our face. I'm going to be going into this white pencil liner, and this is by Real Colors, and this is just a long wear gel eyeliner pencil in white, and I'm going to be putting this on the inner part of the bottom of my eye. Wow, like I'm absolutely shook, you guys, with this eye look, with this palette. I just, wow. We're going to be going into my Too Faced chocolate bronzer, and I'm going to be using this just to add some definition on my face. And of course, I'm going to be using this to go down the sides of my nose just to add some definition on my nose. Now I'm going to be going into this very puffy brush, and I have no idea where this brush is from. I've used it so much that honestly all the lettering has fallen off, but I'm going to be dipping that into my chocolate bronzer from Too Faced, and I'm just going to be going down the sides of my nose to contour just a little bit. Okay, you guys, so since this is a very bold eye look, I didn't want to do too much with blush. So I'm just going to be going into my Too Faced Peach blush, and I'm just going to be putting the littlest bit of this on the apples of my cheeks. Okay, you guys, we're almost done. Our second to last step is going to be, of course, going into our lips. And since this is a very bold look, I just wanted to go in with a very light nude lip. So I'm going to be going in with my Anastasia, and this is in shade Kiss. It is this very natural nude lip. And I'm going to be topping that off with my Morphe Sweet Oasis Collection lip gloss, and this is in shade Shimmy. Alright, you guys, so obviously our last step is going to be going in with our setting spray, and this is the RareBeauty Setting Mist, and we're going to be putting this all over our face to make sure that this gorgeous look does not move, does not slip, does not go anywhere, because honestly we want to keep this look on our face for a couple of days. Alright, you guys, and this is it. This is the finished look.
Talk to me nice. Talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes. Don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it.
I do have a little surprise for you guys. If you absolutely loved this look that I created using the Notting Hill palette, you can actually use my code MELLY30 at the SkinneLondon website, and you can get 30% off on any of their products. So thank you guys again for watching today's video, and I hope to see you next time.
Make me believe it.